you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Xiao, not to be confused with Xiao, might just be the most hated Genshin Impact character of all time. Well, it's either Xiao or his fans, because they can certainly be some real characters themselves, if you catch my drift.
Oh my god, I'm blooming!
Oh, and for the record, I don't mean hated, as in by the community. No, for I am referring to by the developers themselves. Yes, good old Mr. miHoYo themselves is a massive Xiao hater. Oh, you don't believe me? Oh, well, just sit around a while, will you? And then you too will share my opinion. That I can guarantee. For the evidence I will be presenting here today is irrefutable. So irrefutable, in fact, that only the most delusional of Xiao mains would ever be able to survive the absurdly high amounts of copium one needs to inhale to still ignore reality. So yeah, let's begin, shall we? When Xiao first dropped, there wasn't really any set that suited him. So people that are like a moth to a flame, but instead of a flame, it's bad decisions. Yeah, let's go with that. So Xiao mains basically had to farm two different sets for him at once. One being Gladiator, which you can only get through weekly and world bosses, making it a pain in the ass to farm. With the other one being Vivi, which is paired with Maidens, something all Genshin players, to nobody's surprise, are without, me included. But I digress. Since then, Xiao has received two new sets, one being barely an upgrade for him, which makes it even worse in my opinion, since now you gotta spend thousands of resting on yet another set, only for it to be a measly 5% or so upgrade. Not really a worthwhile trade, if you ask me. But not only is the new set barely even an improvement, it also replaces Xiao's old Best in Slot set, which was the remains of his old best buddy, Bodacious. Right, I also forgot to mention all his friends are dead. Like all of them. Well, not all of them, but almost all of them. And to make it even worse, they all slowly went more and more insane, suffering for thousands of years, slowly losing their real selves. Until the only thing remaining were lifeless, violent husks, needed to be put down. Yeah, quite high up on the horrid ways to die list, eh? But you know, Xiao has already suffered a lot, so he can probably handle some more miHoYo. Probably. Earlier, when I said that the new plunge set is Xiao's new best in slot, well, about that, I kinda lied. Sort of. Whilst that is true, the new plunge set is his best in slot set, assuming you're playing him in a hyper carry setup, that is, because technically, his real best in slot set is in fact Vivi, 4-piece Vivi to be more specific. Yes, not only has the poor guy lost all his friends and gotten a new, almost negligible, fuck, that word on the screen, I can't pronounce it. Anyway, best in slot set for his hypercarry playstyle. But he's also subjected to being a Vivi bot for Neuvillette teams, if you want to see his highest damaging teams. No, I'm serious. This is actually true. But to make it even worse, yes, it gets worse. For Xiao, if you run him with Neuvillette, you will technically be gimping your Neuvillette's damage instead, so pick your poison, I guess, Xiao mains. And speaking of damage, constellations, right? A word I know every Xiao main loves to hear. They are really great for increasing a character's damage, especially so if they are a DPS like, well, for example, Xiao. Well, yeah, that's true for almost every DPS, besides Xiao. Well, it's still true for Xiao, but not as much as one would hope for. because his constellations are something, to say the least. His Constellation 4 might just be the worst constellation in the entire game. Bro really can't catch a break, eh? Be it in lore or in gameplay. Anyway, his remaining constellations aren't necessarily anything special as well, to say the least. But hey, at least his Constellation 3 and Constellation 5 are quite decent. Compared to his other ones, that is. Bro really can't catch a break. Or look at the top of a shelf. Sorry, I had to. It was too easy. Okay, but all jokes aside, I obviously don't believe miHoYo actually hates Xiao. Quite the opposite, in fact. Since they clearly do have a soft spot for him. Granted, the Attack on Titan author's favorite character is Reiner, who, yeah, didn't really have the greatest of times. So, take that as you will, I guess. No, but seriously, neither I nor miHoYo have any underlying hatred for Xiao, since I can assure you, if I started playing Genshin back in 1.x, instead of 2.x, I too would probably have been a Xiao main, for at least a few patches. But I can't lie and say I don't find it exceptionally funny that Xiao has gone through the thick of it. Be it intentionally in the lore, or the addition of Shenyun, or unintentionally with a new set barely being an upgrade, or the fact that being a VV slave to Neuvillette is technically his best team. But yeah, with all that said, that's all for this video. If you made it this far, might I persuade you into watching another one of my videos? Some of them might actually be quite decent if I say so myself. So yeah, with all that said, bye. Or considering the video is about Xiao, maybe I should say Xiao. Wait, Xiao means bye, right? Oh fuck.
Good. Lament!
Hey, can you keep
Evil
it down?
cock ring! Get out of my way! I'm coming.